Hey guys, Justin here. Welcome to a new season of Arca. Quick note, the fast line for qualifying is going to be a wall ripper. It's going to be the top side, but it's going to be second lap here, so feel free to skip ahead if that's what you're looking for. Then also stick around for the race. This is a massive split. This is almost 5,000 strength of field, and it was tough racing, super technical, super fun. I think you all will enjoy seeing what we have to show you guys with tips and tricks and racing lines. Please leave a like on this video if it helped you out at all, because that really helps me with the algorithm. It pushes the video out to like double the amount of people. If I hit a certain amount of likes, it's crazy, but I would really appreciate it. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. We're almost at 1,000 subs, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribed if you haven't subscribed yet.
What upset are you guys running with this?
Minus 12.
Okay, I was keeping mine at minus 4. I'm gonna drop it a little bit. Does it feel like it helps the car turn better? Or what do you drop it that low for?
It's just what the wheel is straight on the back stretch.
204.473.
Alright, let's take a look at that. So it's going to be second lap qualifying. First lap, you do not have enough momentum coming to the green to be able to put a fast lap down. So let's take a look here. This is out. This is the first lap coming to the second lap. Main key about this corner coming to the white flag is going to be to keep your rears under you. And I like to do that by kind of entering a little low and getting the car a little tight. Because if you enter the car too high and enter low, that's when you can start losing your rears. And this will keep up as much momentum as possible because you're going to be pretty much full throttle the whole way. I blip it out a little bit. You see I drive it up to the wall, getting a little tight. So the motion that you want is going to be towards the wall. You want to be going towards the wall on entry and not off the wall, because this will make you tight instead of loose. So that's going to be a main theme in this, is keeping your rears under the car. So you see I am completely stable, no loose condition, and I'm in the green. So if you slide your rears just a little bit, that can cost you up to 1/10 of a second with how bogged down these cars get and how long this back stretch or the front stretch is. So you see I cut the apron there. We get up to the first corner, and now I'm going to turn off the wall, and I go almost to the seam. If the seam is right here, I would probably aim just a little bit away from it, because you can kind of just barely blip out of the throttle here. So you see I go to half and then straight back on, and I drive it up to the wall. So you want to drive it up to the wall because that's how you keep your rears under you. And if you want to let the car rotate a little bit, just make sure that you're keeping full traction with the ground, and you're able to get full speed off the corner. Again, if you do this line, and you get a little loose, you're going to lose so much momentum, it's going to translate to about 1/10 of a second. So if you're following this line and you're still slow, you just need to hear your tires as little as possible while still making the corner. And I like to do that by doing a little diamond like we saw there. So now in 3 and 4, you're going to get a little loose whether you like it or not, because you can full throttle this corner. Now I don't like to full throttle the corner because I don't think it's necessarily faster, but you can full throttle it. What I do is I quick blip just barely to 75 and back. And you see now I've lost the rears completely, but you're carrying this much speed into the corner that's going to happen. So the speed is going to come from minimizing this. So I ran a 0.11 later on and I forgot to record it. And the only difference between that lap and this lap was not being that loose in 3 and 4. So you see, you can tell how loose I am because look at, oh, I'm turned to the right. That is incredibly loose. Right, left. If you minimize your wheel inputs by having just a really perfect angle into the corner, and that perfect angle is going to be as close to the wall as possible and kind of just barely turning off the wall. If you're able to do that and keep your rears under you, then there's more speed in it than what you're seeing here. But what I did was I entered a tiny bit too low. That's going to get me a little loose. You want to be a little higher than I was there. But still, I'm able to keep up the momentum decently. And we're able to just keep it straight off the corner. So getting loose on exit is so much worse than getting loose in the middle. And this is the apron cut. You just pretty straightforward all the way to the bottom. And that'll get you a 0.1. And probably even better as possible if you're able to help the stabilization on turn 3 and 4. So, all right, let's go right to the race. All right, let's take a look at the race here. This was a massive split. This was a 5K split just about. And it was tough racing. I started 6th, ended up 4th. I probably had a chance for 2nd if I ran a perfect race, but as you'll see, it is very difficult to run this race perfectly. So off the start here, first thing we're going to notice is that I prioritize the very top lane no matter what. I do not want to put myself in the middle 3 wide. We're almost 4 there going into the corner, and that's just nuts. So you see I kind of put myself in a safe distance from the wall, but making sure I'm top. And really, it seems like I'm losing out on a couple spots initially, which I might be, but at the same time, everything's going to end up moving up to the top here, because even if you're able to run a decent bottom line, if you're choked up to the top, you won't be able to get your best time. So you see he's able to go top there, and then I say, okay, well, it's time for me to merge back up top. I'm not leaving the top to go middle or something like that, because as you'll see, these couple guys are going to get stuck on the bottom, even though they're running pretty good, but they just have no hole to get into. So I passed 1, I passed 2, and then I passed 3. So I passed 3 cars just because I committed to the top there. And so at this point, the race is strung out. So that chaos is the first phase of the Kansas race. And my recommendation is stay top, run almost qualifying laps, a little bit safer, a little bit farther from the wall, and you just run that until it single files out. I don't like making any dive bomb moves there because it risks you not making it back into the top lane and then getting dive bombed. Or not dive bombed, sorry, freight trained. So we get to a point where we're running in a single file pretty far back. So at this point, I have a choice to make. Either I'm going to be riding along the top like normal, or I start going to the bottom to run some laps. And at the time, I thought that the best choice was to go to the top, but that is only going to be the best choice if you are this guy, if you are the leader. If you're the leader here, you want to stay top the whole race, because if you run a perfect race, you never hit the wall, you never really abuse your tires too hard, then nobody should ever be able to make a pass on you, and you should be able to run away with it. But if you're stuck behind him, especially if you're the last car in line like I am here, I really should have been going to the bottom here, because you can run the bottom just a little bit easier and save a little tire, and it'll just help you with some drive later in the race. So I think you'll be able to see that, yeah, 5th place here, he has the idea, and you'll see him, he'll come back and pass me later because he's running the bottom. So what's so good about running the bottom is just that your right front will be preserved just slightly over the top. That's what we figured out. I didn't think it would be that way initially, but that's what these first races for are to find out. And even better as a bonus, you get draft down the straightaway a little bit, so it kind of helps the lack of momentum that you have by running the bottom. But you see, what you risk here is he is getting attacked because the top is still a little faster, maybe a 1/10 a lap faster. So he just keeps getting attacked, and he has to keep running these crossover moves on him. And just a lot of a lot of battling. So if you're running the bottom to save tire, you have to battle in a way that's not going to abuse your tires. So he decides to keep doing this, and I think he did it for about half the race, and then he starts running top. And now he has a little bit cooler tires and a little bit fresher tires than us, and he'll be able to run us down. And he'll be able to be faster than pretty much everybody. But if you're the leader, you should be able to gap enough by this point to where even if he makes it back to you, he's probably out of time, and he's probably not going to be able to get past you anyways. So the hardest part about this race, it comes about lap 20. I think I made it almost, I think I hit the wall like every other lap for the last 10 laps. But once you get to late run, you're going to want to start using your brake to rotate the car into the corner. And you want to be a lot more patient. So you see, I'm getting the car loose, which is actually really good in this scenario. But we'll see. Okay, so that must be this lap where I hit the wall for the first time. And the mistake is I did not get on the brake quick enough. So using the brake is really good if you do it before the banking change, because it'll rotate your car. But if you do it after the banking change, like I kind of did here, you're only just going to go straight up into the wall. And that one wasn't that bad. You can kind of manage that, but I hit the wall quite a few more times, and pretty much all exactly in that situation. Turn one, just not being able to get the car pointed off the wall. So you see, it's kind of inconsistent. Like, I'm able to do it one lap, and then let's say the next lap, get really close to hitting it, but it's really, really close. And there's second hit. So let's look at this one. So you see, I don't get pointed down enough. You see, I'm kind of trying to follow Larry in front of me because he's slowing way down and just keeping it up top. I think in this situation, I like to just keep it safe and get my car pointed. I did not get the car pointed. The wheel inputs are doing nothing, and we're at the wall. And this is where a little more tire would help too, because in the last resort, if you have more tire, then the wheel inputs will help you a little bit more to stay off the wall. But it's really just survival. I ended up getting passed after hitting the wall 3 more times, but we salvaged 4th. I think that I can clean it up, and it'll be a really fun race. This is just such a fun track, a fun combo. It's tons of battling, tons of close racing. You're ripping the wall, you're doing dive bombs. This is a race you're gonna want to do. So I really hope that you guys give this one a shot, and I hope to see you all on the track.